Welcome to The Movement, a podcast from the YMCA of Greater Kansas City. Here we share real stories of how our community connects through youth and family development, healthy living programs, and social responsibility campaigns. Our goal is to connect the Kansas City community to the people and stories shaping and building a stronger and better future. From early learning to teen leadership, from senior support to neighbors helping neighbors, this is where Kansas City comes together. You're listening to The Movement, the why, where Kansas City connects.
Welcome to The Movement. I'm your host, Mark Hulet, and we are at Sunset Valley Elementary School in the Lee Summit School District, right in the middle of YMCA Summer Day Camp. And there's a STEM lab on wheels parked outside. It's all things food here week. Those were in air quotes. And today we're learning about the digestive system. Yes, I'm going to repeat that, the digestive system. Behind us, kids are literally building a digestive system out of straws and paper and tape and other materials. Let's find out how and bring in the expert, the person behind this story today. So we're joined by Richard Irwin, the STEM educator with the Missouri AfterSchool Network. Welcome to The Movement, Richard.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So excited for you guys to be here. The kids have been just going out, they've been going a little bit wonky since we've been here. They're having a blast in there.
They're having a lot of fun. They're joining in. You missed the previous session. Instead of us doing with straws, we did it with Legos.
Okay, that's why I stepped on a Lego. Now I know why they're there. So it's part of the digestive system on the floor. All right, so tell us a little bit about the Missouri AfterSchool Network and the STEM mobile lab. What is it and where does it go? What does it do?
Okay, so the Missouri AfterSchool Network is a giant network located at the MU building.
Okay.
Youth extensions. We work alongside with 4-H. So we help after-school programs. There's different fields and tasks. We have a communication office. We have those that help out new and upcoming programs. We're getting career readiness. We have PLCs.
Great.
So it's just a lot of work there. The STEM mobile lab actually came from one of our community gatherings. One day they're like, hey, can we come up with some ideas to spread STEM around Missouri? And I was like, I've always pictured having a mobile lab that can go to different programs. And they're like, that sounds doable. Well, 1 year later, I get a call that's saying, hey, we want to do this. Do you want to be a part of it? And of course, yes.
Yeah.
Being in the mobile lab is a dream job. So what the mobile lab does is we get contracted to go out to different sites, mainly after school programs, all of Missouri, to provide a weeks-long experience with the students and the staff. And what we do is we teach about different fields of STEM, ranging from biology, the digestive system, to technology like VR, drones, programming, and 3D pens. Or right now we're working on getting in 3D designs altogether coming in.
Great.
And so while we're there, we also do what makes us different than other mobile labs, professional development for clock hours. Okay. So those that have us do clock hours can get that on their time. So most Missouri after-school programs and even teachers have to get a set amount of training per year.
Sure. And
we provide 2 hours of that for every time the STEM mobile lab comes out.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So talk to a little bit about STEM and why is it so important for today's students, especially as enrichment, not just in school, but I mean, really about what you're doing out here? Why is this so important?
Being part of the STEM community has shown me that it provides more than just getting kids ready for their next career, but provides all of the social needs as well. Having in a STEM class has had me have kids form groups together. Yeah. They've had them critically thinking the next process. So when a kid can't figure out what to do, STEM has provided them steps along the way of thinking, what could I do next? It's not a set course, but it's like, hey, what if we did this? What if we did this? Oh no, we failed. And STEM is one of those that's great at failing, because from failure comes something new. I don't know if you've ever heard about like duct tape and super glue. They were originally designed to be something else. And now because of that failure, they're what we got now.
Yeah.
So that's what I see STEM as. It's a gateway to everything else. It's a gateway to careers. It's a gateway to meeting new people. It's a gateway of coming up with different ways of thinking.
Yeah. Social interaction is so important for kids, especially in today's world. And not to play down technology, but this is a whole different application of besides just being on some tablet or a phone or something. These kids are a little bit young for that, but actually the engagement and the interaction and what I'm seeing here, I mean, they're doing all those social engagement activities, but they're also learning some as they go along.
They're also getting like immediate feedback. That's one thing. I love technology. I use VR. As I mentioned, I used to stream.
Yep.
I do all of that. But with physical contact next to each other, you know the way that they are speaking. Over a phone, they raise their voice. You can't tell that they're yelling.
Yeah.
So this is just great for them to be able to see what they're getting from the other person.
Yeah. So take me through the STEM build. I think I'm using your correct language here, that what we're doing at Summer Day Camp here at Sunset Valley. You know, what is it called, and how do you turn, I believe the project is digestive system, correct? How do you turn that into science, technology, engineering, math, and even art? We'll throw the A into this. We'll make it STEAM.
I love that. So what we do with the mobile lab that I'm part of is we adapt to the grade levels. So we have what is called playlists, which is teachers might call them curriculum.
Sure.
So they pick a playlist, and like this one is such digestive system. Normally we have all the standards. Most of our standards for this one is from 3rd through 5th grade. But while I'm there, I adapt it to whatever the grade is. So for younger kids, we combine the science portion is, of course, learning about how the digestive system goes.
Sure.
Technology, we introduce, like my friend here, Henry Clavicle, who has a really cool shirt on that has a code. And if you scan it, it pops out augmented reality internal organs that the kids can explore. Now, the engineering side is like the Legos, or with the older kids, the straws, building that system to show where food goes through. Art is the process of designing the way they look. For this one, they're coloring the different organs in the way that they want. Older grades, kids would be building full systems using like paper mache or other organs that would fit in. And now the math side is for this one is more of a informal measurements. They will use like, well, this is about the size of a quarter. So I'm going to cut it to the size of a quarter. And then they combine, they count the amount of straws they will need as they build through the material. And then let's see. Oh, that's all of it.
You got them all. You hit them all. You completed you completed the anagram or the acronym or whatever we're going to use it. Some people are just listening to the podcast. Can you kind of physically describe what they're doing?
So starting off, they have a sheet of paper with a picture, which I like to call the cheat sheet. For younger kids, they get it. Older kids, they don't get that. They have to draw it out themselves. But for these ones, they get a cheat sheet with all the organs of the path of the digestive system, starting from the mouth to the back end.
Yep.
Then
I've seen the picture.
Yeah. They will take straws and they will measure like from point A to point B. So from the mouth to the esophagus, then to the stomach. They will cut them out using scissors, and then they will tape them down.
Okay.
Once they've done all that and they've gone through the organs and they're ready for it, they put basically it's a ball bearing that will go inside the mouth, and they will path it through the intestines to see it come out the other end. And then from there, if there's anything that happens like obstruction or if it gets stuck, it's just new experiences for kids to learn about. And this is also one of the things that we like to add to it is career readiness, because a bariatric surgeon is what they would do if they have to cut it open and change the intestines around. And then we also like to tell them, you want a good job? Be a bariatric surgeon. That's an annual $400,000 a year.
There was a young man over here. I think his name is Austin. He was having doctor-like conversations as he was putting this together. So I asked him if that's something, his medical school in his future, and he just, it is.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. You do it. Go, man, go. STEM seems to be, again, it seems to be a larger, every year, I don't want to call it a buzzword, but it's grown so much over the last, I'll just say 15 to 20 years. What do you see the driver behind the growth of STEM? And actually, the acronym and people focus, because I'll go back to my days in school. I took math, I took science, I did all those things, but they've really built this unique little model out of it. So what's the background to that in your mind?
In my mind, I think it was, they wanted to encompass it all, make it easier for everybody. So if somebody's teaching it, like I've been to some very rural places where the science teacher is also the math teacher,
Right on.
is also another teacher. So by encompassing it, it makes it easier for them. But the reason why I think it was picked that way is also because how great it's going to become. As you said, 20 years, it's already exploded out. Every year, it's getting bigger and bigger because it allows the kids to focus. It allows the kids to have a wider career choice, or it has them more options. One of the things that I've always grown up as a kid is hearing somebody say, I hate science. And I was like, no, you don't hate science. You just have a dislike for this very particular part of it.
It's like broccoli, you
Yes.
know? I mean, it's good for you.
Is it though? I don't know. If it tastes that bad, it can't be that good. I just now love green beans and onions.
All right, man. All right. So maybe there's also some myths about STEM that you'd like to debunk. Is there anything that you think?
STEM is only for certain people. It's only for certain genders. It's only for those that do very well in school. And it's like, no, it's not. STEM is for everybody. It's like, I like to tell people I did very, very poorly in high school. I mean, very poorly, but I passed. But here I am doing STEM field. It's like, it's not for those that do bad. It's for everybody. Anybody can get into it. I got into it. I went to college. I did amazing in it. And it's just so free flowing to be in STEM. So STEM is for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your background is. We've seen in other countries, poorer countries, that use STEM. Like Africa created this fabric weave using recyclable parts that takes moisture and funnels it down to make drinkable water.
Oh, wow.
That comes from a poor village, and they still use STEM. So the myth that I dislike was that one.
If there was one thing I think your message just did it. I don't even think I need to ask you this question. It's like, what's the one thing that you would leave listeners with about STEM?
Do it. Like, I would quote a semi-famous celebrity, but I don't know how that would go over. But it's just those 3 words.
Yeah.
Just
do it.
Do it.
Got it, man. Okay, Richard, thanks for being here today, and thanks for being
Thank you for having me.
For rolling around and keeping our kids entertained and teaching them something at the same time.
Now, something that has not been stated, and again, for those that are just listening, there's a pile of poo on this table right here.
Let me move it. Let me move it. Yeah, we started there today, didn't we?
Yes. So this also gjust added into it's besides being comedy, it's a prop that's like, this is where it's going to end. So we start at the end and we work backwards as well.
Awesome. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate what you and the rest of your team do for us. So I know you're rolling out of here soon, so I'm going to let you get back. You got a couple more rounds here with these kids today. So carry on, Gung Man.
Thank you very much.
Right, thanks. It looks like Richard and the mobile STEM lab are rolling out at the end of the week here. But the Y is here every single day. I'm joined by YMCA Youth Development Senior Program Director Andi Gilbertson.
Mm-hmm.
Happy
Hi.
to see you. And Senior VP of Youth Development, Darcy Swan. And they are here to share a lot of things about the Y, and not just day camp, and just talk a little bit much more about the bigger picture of the Y. We're here celebrating all sorts of things with summer day camp, but there's so many other things. But I do want to start with summer day camp. And I'll, Darcy, this one's for you right off the bat.
Okay.
For those who mostly know the Y in this healthy living realm, what does summer day camp actually look like day to day?
Well, day to day, we are very intentionally planned so that kids can come to camp for very robust activities where they get to engage with caring adults who have brought a healthy snack, and we teach about that healthy snack. They have brought physical activities and games to the kids to make sure that they're active and using their teamwork skills. And they have brought academic lessons so that kids can continue learning over the summer. Because that's really the goal of our summer day camp, is to keep kids active, keep kids engaged, keep kids wanting to come back the next day.
Yeah.
We love it when kids don't want to leave at the end of the day because they've had so much fun and they've made new friends.
Yeah, I had several kids today. I'm just walking around, sitting at the table while they're doing their project, and it's like, what's your favorite thing? And they just start ripping off, 4 or 5 things, and it's just great that they're excited to come back. stay with Darcy. What does a kid get out of summer at the Y that they can't get anywhere else?
I think what the YMCA brings to summer camp, again, is really well-trained staff who have not only been trained in how to create intentional lessons that extend learning over the summer, but also staff who have training in social emotional learning, staff who have been trained in classroom management to make sure that kids are safe, staff who have been trained in how to help kids who maybe have a hard time connecting with their peers. And we hope that those kiddos learn how to connect over the summer, and those are skills that they can take with them into the school year.
Andi, what do you think it takes to build a summer experience where kids are having that blast? And again, how do you do this, right? You're having a blast, but you're also learning without, it not feeling like it's school.
So it takes a special person. It's
well, you are special people.
We are definitely special people. And it definitely takes those who have that forethought of what's coming out of this activity, where are we going with it? And then also those who are just okay to be silly with kids and okay to just really engage with them, because we're not doing worksheets. We're not doing paper to pencil. We're doing active play. That sideline is the education side of things. So it takes that special person to begin with. And then it takes a team that really makes these kids feel like they belong, and then really works well together. So.
And this, from what I understand, this is all things food this week.
It is. Yeah. It's Chef Week is the official title. So.
All right, I like that. Chef Week. How do you dream up stuff like that?
They have their different components that they're required to do, and our camp directors have gone wild with it. I evidently yesterday or sometime lately was National Pancake Day. And so the team here kind of went with that and branched off of that to create an entire week all about food. They did pancake flipping yesterday. They did all kinds of stuff. And it all started with just as simple ideas.
I missed Pancake Day.
I think you did miss Pancake
I'm sorry.
Day. But also, I think the staff that we have working camps have such a passion of working with kids. And when you have that kind of passion and you want to make learning fun, then those ideas just come naturally. They're easy. And then one person has an idea and somebody bounces something else off of them. And I think that passion is what makes the YMCA staff kind of set apart from other camps in the area, because not only are we bringing STEAM education, which I know we're talking about today, but we're looking at what's happening in the world, whether it's World Cup soccer or whether it is, something locally happening in Kansas City that kids can connect to. We're looking for that Kansas City Connects.
Yep.
We're continuing that in camp and looking for ways to connect kids to what's happening around them.
Super. Andi, you got one camper this summer that you've ran across that just surprised you, or it's just really a cool moment?
There's a little kiddo named Jack who he and I have become best buds the last couple of days. This is his first experience with camp. Yeah. And actually, I think is its first experience actually being in a structured environment outside of his home. So he has learned an awful lot in the last 2 days and has really kind of become my buddy right now. And he's just his eyes lighting up in this activity earlier today. Yeah. I'm so excited to see how much more he grows this summer.
Yeah, I think that's what's so cool. The relationships, the teachers build with these kids, right? And the trust that happens and just, supporting the kids at all levels. It's so awesome. Darcy, beyond summer, the Y has this huge before and after school program.
Yes.
And it's a huge presence. It's not just, here in Lee Summit. It's across the metro, multiple school districts. Walk us through what that looks like for a working family.
Right. So for a working family, obviously, parents have to drop off before school starts, and they have to pick up after school is out, and they need wrap care before school, after school. And for the YMCA, that looks like our youth development team being in over 90 sites across the Kansas City metropolitan area. It looks like us serving at least 3,500 students in a school year. It looks like us being very, again, well-planned, very focused on making sure that we're an extension of the school day for kids so they don't feel an awkward transition going from school to Y Club. And parents know that we've provided safe before and after school care for their children so that they can be in the workforce. They can report to their jobs and know that not only are their kids really well cared for, but we're also providing, again, that extension of a healthy snack, physical activity, and an extension of what they're learning in school.
You know, the difference sometimes, Andi, you've got programs where it's a place for my kid to be, right? And then there's a place where my kid wants to go.
Right.
And like you said, he's always clamoring to come back. Andi, how does the before and after school program set kids up for the school day? So you talked about catching them at the beginning and then you get them at the end. Talk about that connection along that continuum.
Absolutely. So these teachers are looking for, at the very beginning of the day, they're looking for these kids ready to learn. And we do a really wonderful job of starting the day out fun and exciting, and then getting them calm and more focused, having them talk a little bit more about SEL and social emotional to kind of calm them down right before we give them to the teacher so that they are ready to learn. Also, your brain works a lot longer when you have your physical activity in the morning, and then you're ready to go for school. So they get out some of that energy to begin with, and then are able to transition in. And then in the afternoons, it's kind of the opposite. We're ready to rev them back up again because they've
Parents
been
love
sitting. We want to get them tired before they go home. We want to give them, they are absolutely, have been sitting for most of the day. They have really been concentrating and learning, and we want to celebrate that. We help them with the homework if they need that assistance and that help. We talk to the teachers during the day to make sure that what we are providing in the afternoons does support where they are during the day. But then we really and truly just take time to celebrate them and to have them celebrate each other as we're playing in the afternoons.
Yeah, that's so good. Darcy, there's a lot of activity back here. They're getting ready to start their digestive system project today. STEM activities like today, I mean, they're part of a well-rounded program, right? And a well-rounded kid, right? So where do you see other things? You've talked about reading. You talked about physical activity, character development, social emotional learning. You talked about all those. How do all those intertwine to make it work together for a child?
Yeah. Well, it's really having a holistic approach to program planning, and it's looking at the whole child. What does the whole child need? It's also partnering with our school districts and looking at their strategic plans and knowing what is it that school district is also working on. What is their portrait of what their kids need to know and be able to do to be successful, and us then, again, piggybacking off of that and making sure that we're structuring learning that enhances those components. So for a student with STEM education, and that's science, technology, engineering, math. We also call it STEAM, and I know Richard talked about that with science, technology, engineering, arts. He even said agriculture.
Ooh, I like
and
that
math,
one.
and I love that. And that is us making sure that when we put together activities for kids, we're really thinking about what is it we want kids to know and be able to do. We want them to be good citizens. We want them to be able to collaborate. We want them to be critical thinkers. We want them to be problem solvers. Yeah. And really looking at, it goes beyond just the lesson on the page. It's really, how do we want to help them develop skill sets that are going to transcend any setting that they find themselves in as they grow, those skills just becoming stronger. And I think, again, it goes back to the whole child, the brain-based learning. It goes back to, making sure that we're crafting experiences for kids that they might not get elsewhere. And so sometimes in education, we talk about the STEM or the STEAM gap that some kids have just in their regular everyday life. And so that's why schools and childcare, like what we provide, is really looking at making sure that we're providing experiences so that we're lessening that gap for kids and making sure that kids can come into our spaces and know that they're safe, they're fed, and they're learning.
Yeah.
And that learning is definitely, again, beyond any objectives that we're trying to meet. It goes into what kind of human are we helping create? What kind of person are they going to be? How do they treat the kiddo sitting next to them? And how do they regulate their own bodies and their own emotions? Because that's a huge part of our learning as well.
Andi, whether it's the summer, the 2.5 months over the summer, and depending on what school district we're in, right? Sometimes it's a little bit longer.
Right.
But being here in Lee Summit, you see kids transform, right? I mean, you see them, they come in and, at the end of June or the beginning of June, and then by the time we get to August or early September, you see some transformation. Or flip that, and it's, the full school year that you're working with these kids too. Talk
Absolutely.
a little bit about how you see kids transforming. What do you see them grow? How do you see them grow? I mean, that's the purpose of all this in the first place, right? How have you seen kids grow?
I really see the social emotional side of things for these children. That is something that I see growth in so much. We have kids that they'll come in and they don't know how to speak to others. They get really frustrated and really upset. And then we teach them how to use a calm spot to calm down. We teach them how to use their words and to be able to articulate and by the time they're leaving, they are having conversations. They are our LITs that are helping with the younger kids, and they are stepping up. And that we are able to take that time with them to be able to have a consistent rapport with them. And I think that that's really important, that they have those same people over and over to be able to help them develop. And they blossom and grow through social emotional, I think.
Darcy, the Y is, it's a nonprofit. We want to make sure that we're working with the community on opportunities for people to have access, financial assistance. So cost never a reason for a kid to miss out, right? So how does the financial assistance work for programs like this?
Yeah, it's open communication and dialogue with families with the Y and the Y with families, making sure that families know what's available to them, making sure that families know that we do accept subsidy for childcare costs, knowing that we are trying to keep costs low for families, even though, staffing does cost us, and our snacks and our resources to run camp and after school programming costs us money. We're really trying to be very intentional about, what we're charging families, but also letting families know that there are options for scholarships through the YMCA. The youth development team does run a campaign in the month of April.
A very successful
campaign in April. And that money goes directly back to youth development, making sure that when a family is in need, we're there to help support. All the family needs to do is to talk to their site supervisors or talk to their coordinators or their senior program directors to make sure that we know about that need, or we know about some event that a family might have incurred, and make sure that we are being actionable in their requests, and knowing that, our goal is to make sure we're providing that resource for families, and that families have a place to go to talk to someone about what they might be going through, so we can be responsive.
Andi, who's actually running camp? It's kind of a loaded question, isn't it?
That is a loaded question.
What's going on here? Who's in charge? Talk to me about your leadership team and your staff and your counselors and all the people. It begins with people and having the right people that come with the right attitude. Because kids can be kids. And I'll just leave it at that. I mean, I've had my kids. I know they can be kids. And again, I'll use my air quotes again. But how do you recruit and retrain, train, and prepare a staff to do this work?
We are very inquisitive to begin with when we are doing interviews with these teams. I have the absolute best team of what we call our MSCs, our multi-site coordinators, and the three of us, soon to be four of us again, really have an intention of who we are looking for, where there is maybe we have a ton of talent in physical sports. So we have people who really love physical sports, but we don't have a whole lot of people who are doing some art or STEAM or things like that. And so we kind of really try to find those people that fit into that little hole that we're missing. We also are very big on making sure that as the team that we are continually talking about the big picture of what's going on, because you get in the weeds a little bit. Sometimes they get a little stressed because the kids, are kids. But you gotta draw them back to that big picture the whole time. And we really have a great team that are able to do that, not just in Lee Summit, but like the entire YDS team is really good at pulling each other out of those weeds and making sure that we are all on that big picture.
We were this morning, earlier today, we were at another camp, and we had our board of directors come to camp day. We had 23 of our 24 board members at camp today, which was fantastic. And they wore the shirts you're wearing, they got to do activities. But the thing, besides the excitement of the kids, what's remarkable is the commitment and the excitement of the staff. And that just resonates. And I know you get a lot of emails from parents, and 95% of those are like, man, things are so great. I love this staff. My kid loves this. I just read one that you shared with me yesterday. So kudos to that. Darcy, talk about the STEAM Alliance. What is it, and why do some of our community partners invest in it?
Yeah. Well, it starts with real world learning, which has been a focus on both the Kansas and Missouri state lines when it comes to education of students. And it was really an idea that was based in knowing that we are surrounded by engineering firms in Kansas City who want to be involved in the work. They want to be invested in what kids are doing, what they're learning, and making sure that we're growing future engineers in the area. And so in January, the YMCA put together an event, and I think 14 or 15 different engineering firms attended that event. And it was just to learn more about what the YMCA is doing with after school programming and summer camps and how they could be of support in STEAM education with us. And it was about partnership. It was about what does it take? What are the needs? What are the engineering firms hoping to get out of real world learning initiatives? And what are we hoping to gain from the partnership, whether that is people, boots on the ground, helping us with education, whether that is funding, whether that is materials, whether that is design ideas that they could bring to kids and we could have kids work on as a project. And so through the STEAM Alliance, we have had some local engineering firms provide STEM kits that we're going to be using in program. We have, I know Andi can talk about a really great thing she's going to be doing here in Lee Summit, which is her Carnival Week. And Carnival Week is all about kids designing their own games. And she's provided a sign up for engineers in the area who might want to attend that and help model or coach or whatever that looks like with kids who are going to be building their own carnival games for families to attend. Andi, I probably just stole your thunder on that. It's amazing.
Anything to add, Andi?
She blew me away on that idea. So.
It's completely a kid-made carnival. We're going to give them a whole bunch of cardboard and pieces and have them create using the design engineering process. So every day we have different people coming in to help them with the different parts of the process. And by the end of the week, we're going to have popcorn maker machines, and we're going to have, the carnival little games and things like that. I have done this in the past with other camps, and I'm so excited to be able to incorporate the community, incorporate these engineers to be able to, so that the kids can see real world. There are people out there that are actually using this process in their day-to-day lives, in their work. So I'm very excited about it.
It's a very hands-on approach to letting kids not just experience the craftsmanship of it, the making of the materials, but then get to use them afterwards to see, like, this is the end result. This is what engineering isn't just about the making. It's about the being able to use it. How did it work? And then evaluate it at the end. What would I do differently? How did I work with my peers? Did I collaborate? How did we problem solve? And so I think all of that goes into it in our STEAM Alliance. We're hoping to keep that alive year after year, because I think, we can think big, start small. And, we're just trying a few things this summer, and we're hoping then to grow that into this fall and summers to come, to see just how many engineers in the area we can get engaged in some capacity.
Super. Looking ahead, Darcy, what is next for camp? And then also heading into YDS after the summer's over.
Yeah, what's next? Gosh. Well, in terms of finishing out the year, it's kind of like always thinking ahead, but being able to live in the moment. And right now we're living in the moment, making sure that day to day we're crafting great experiences for kids, and that kids leave happy and wanting to come back for more. As we think about rolling into the school year, the 26-27 school year, it's really just about, again, making sure that we're recruiting high quality staff, that we're getting those staff trained, that we're preparing them with a toolbox that they feel like they are prepared to walk into their before and after school setting with not just great ideas and activities to do with kids, but really feel prepared to build relationships with the kids, with the families, know that they have autonomy and agency to run their program as they see fit. They are teachers in their own classrooms. And so I think that's exciting. And as we think ahead, it's just about how can we better partner with our school districts? How can we engage our school district partners to just, help us envision the future of Y Club? Because I think with our partners, whether that's engineers, whether that's school districts, whether, that's any other partner in the Kansas City area, grants, foundations, whatever that might look like how can we continue to send the message that childcare is more than childcare? It is about learning. It is about growing. It is about, helping kids see their potential.
Andi, last question for you.
Okay.
One kid, one hot summer day, and we're doing a project on the digestive system. Sum up why that matters.
Well, it's not the digestive system. I mean, not that the digestive system does not matter, but it's the critical thinking piece.
Yes.
It's the how do I relate my life to what I'm doing and creating, and how do I connect nutrition to it, and how do I, these kiddos, they know a lot. They're very smart little kiddos, but seeing that little spark that comes along with some of these activities and some of these things, that they've learned something new, a little bit more, it's kind of the goal. It's what I'm reaching for every time that we do an activity. I'm looking for those kiddos that are, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So.
Well said. Well said. That pretty much sums up YMCA Youth Development, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great job, Andi and Darcy. Thank you for sharing the bigger picture with a lot of things there, a lot of things more than just summer day camp. There's a lot of stuff going on in the Y and our youth development programs. And that Richard guy over there, we need to thank him. I'll wave at him. Thanks for bringing the mobile lab out to Sunset Valley this week. It's exactly the kind of experience STEAM Alliance exists to make possible. These are the things that are happening in our community. So if you want to see what STEAM looks like in action at a Y camp, you better hurry up. Camp is coming to a close here in a few weeks. So if you're a business who want to help us move things forward, help more kids, the opportunities not only with summer day camp, but it's throughout the year with our youth development programs. We'd love to have that conversation. I know you would too, Darcy. So I'm Mark Hulet. This is The Movement, the Y where Kansas City connects. Thanks for listening. Stay motivated, stay connected, and keep moving forward with us in the movement. Together, we're building a stronger, more connected Kansas City, one story at a time.
Thank you for joining us on The Movement. If today's conversation inspired you, connect with your local YMCA. and explore all the ways you can get involved in your community. Together, we're building stronger families, healthier lives, and a more connected Kansas City. The Y, where Kansas City connects. Thank you for listening to The Movement.
I missed Pancake Day.